But one of the enduring scenes from CPAC, I don't know if you were in the crowd that night, was Argentinian President Javier Milei handing a chainsaw to Elon Musk. I mean, some of the scenes we are seeing out of this event are quite astonishing. Tell me about the mood there and Elon Musk's role so far in the Trump administration.
Yeah, Milei is my spirit animal, no question about it. I love that guy. And he's done what's necessary, right? He has arrested this out-of-control inflation in Argentina, and he clearly has taken the Trump doctrine to the Southern Hemisphere. I think it's great. I think he's become a rock star here in CPAC and the Republican Party in general. And I think similar to him, I think it was a great, it was a great handoff of that chainsaw. I think people view Elon Musk in the same way. This guy is going in there. He is pulling up his sleeves. He is taking his crew in there. They're getting into the numbers, and they are cutting costs. Real numbers. We're not talking a few $1 million here. We're talking about $55 billion so far. $55 billion here, $55 billion here. All of a sudden, you're talking real money, right? And I think it's about time. No question. It's about time. I think it's great. I think people behind him see Elon Musk as the rock star that he really is.
James.
And, with this Doge thing, one of the things I'm most intrigued about is this idea of a Doge dividend where American taxpayers will get a cut of the savings. Tell us about that.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept. Saying, hey, you know what? We'll cut a check to you guys, send money to you guys. Look, I don't want to rain on that parade. I mean, it's a cute idea. I think it could be helpful. It doesn't add up to a whole lot of money. Look, I'm an inflation hawk. I don't want to bring this party down, but look, I'm not all about sending money out to people who could just spend more money, driving up prices again. I think we can use that money to cut our deficit. I think we use that money to cut our interest rate payments, by maybe buying back some bonds. I think there are other uses of that money, but look, at the end of the day, people are hurting. There's no question about it. And if they can use $500, $1,000, I'm not sure what it'll come out to per person, but it's not nothing. That doesn't hurt for sure. I think the American people who could use the money, I personally would use that money, put that back, cut our debt, and continue cutting our spending.
I think I agree with you there, Ami, but I was amused by I think it was a CNN reporter or one of the left-wing reporters on one of the shows saying, what's $5,000? If you gave $5,000 back, how would it help people? Which I thought showed the elitist attitude of the left. But quickly before we go, Ami, Ukraine, Russia. So obviously that's been the big topic of the week. What was the mood or the arguments at CPAC regarding Ukraine, Russia?
I mean, that's the most. I mean, if you if you kind of stand around people's tables, listen to their conversations, clearly a topic of conversation. And I think again, it highlights the split we've seen in the Republican Party. I think there are a lot of people. Look, I think most people here, including myself, look, we want to see this war come to an end. I think that pretty much everyone here is in agreement. 3 years is too long to have this meat grinder of a war destroy two economies, destroy two people, take away the youth from both these countries. At the same time, I think there is this split between whether or not we should cut off Ukraine completely or whether or not we should support them, but support them within certain limits, which I certainly fall in that camp. I think the Ukraine war has done a number of things, right? I think that it has degraded the Russian economy, it's degraded the Russian army, it's taken a geopolitical foe, probably our second greatest geopolitical foe, off the map, really for maybe a generation. And even more important, I think it's made China look very closely at Taiwan and saying, if the U.S. is willing to do this for Ukraine, we don't have as large of an interest in Ukraine as we do in Taiwan, what would the U.S. and the Europeans do if we invaded Taiwan? I think that is super essential in terms of the geopolitical map and where we move next. And also, maybe even equally importantly, we have taught the Europeans that they need to be able to step up and pay for their own self-defense. I think they've been getting a free ride from us for too long. I think this has been one of Trump's foreign policy planks, that he was able to get them in the last administration to pay their 2% defense funding. So I think it was a great lesson for the Europeans saying, you can't rely on us, you've got to pay up on your own. That's my view on this thing.
And Ami, you're right to point to China, and you're probably not aware, or you might be, that right now off the coast of New South Wales, I know you know Sydney and New South Wales well, right off the coast of New South Wales, there are Chinese ships firing live ammunition, causing our aeroplanes to have to redivert themselves.
Yes.
They're having war exercises off the coast of New South Wales. I think you're absolutely 100% right to draw attention. All eyes need to be focused back on the threat that is China.